St. Thomas Aquinas maintains that the first of the sinful angels was before the fall the most exalted of all the angels. After the fall, he became the chief of the evil spirits, now referred to as the devil or Satan. The word devil comes from the Greek word diabolos, which means adversary, slanderer, opposer. It occurs 33 times in the New Testament. The word Satan comes from the Hebrew and means accuser. It occurs 34 times in the New Testament. Another term used for Satan is Lucifer. Satan is a morally wicked creature, hostile both to man and to God. He is not wicked by nature, but because of vice. As the Book of Wisdom, chapter 2, verse 24 declares, through the devil's envy, death entered the world. This wicked creature is also named by his maleficent activity. He is branded as the evil one 12 times in the New Testament, and the final plea in the Our Father prayer is to be delivered from him. Matthew's Gospel, chapter 5, verses 37, and chapter 6, verse 13. He is also called the enemy, the adversary, the one who sows weeds in the field. Again, Matthew's Gospel, chapter 13, verse 39. As the enemy, he is the Antichrist par excellence, because as we read in the first letter of John, chapter 4, verse 3, and every spirit which does not confess Jesus is not of God. Depending on the form his malice takes, he is described in John's Gospel, chapter 8, verse 44, as a liar and the father of lies, and a murderer from the beginning, since his lying led humanity into sin and death. Inasmuch as he draws humans into evil, he is the tempter or the seducer. The book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 3, also refers to Satan as the great red dragon, and in chapter 12, verse 9, he is called that ancient serpent. So where did everything go wrong? Lucifer, like all angels, was created for the purpose of glorifying God. The case with his sin was that he loved his own good without considering the fact that God was calling him to something more. Lucifer was the most brilliant and most beautiful of all created beings in heaven. Prior to his rebellion, Lucifer is described in the following terms in the book of the prophet Ezekiel, chapter 28, verses 12 through 17. You had the seal of perfection, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. You were the anointed cherub who covers, and I placed you there. You were on the holy mountain of God. You walked in the midst of the stones of fire. You were blameless in your ways from the day you were created until unrighteousness was found in you. Your heart was lifted up because of your beauty. You corrupted your wisdom by reason of your splendor. The fathers of the church see in the book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 14, verses 12 through 15, a reference to Lucifer where it says, how you are fallen from heaven, O day star, son of dawn, how you are cut down to the ground, you who laid the nations low. You said in your heart, I will ascend to heaven above the stars of God. I will set my throne on high. I will sit on the mount of assembly in the far north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will make myself like the Most High. But you are brought down to Sheol, to the depths of the pit. The key word in this passage is I, which is why we say the sin of Lucifer was the sin of pride. St. Augustine writes that pride is the disordered love of my own excellence to the point of contempt for God. St. Thomas Aquinas explains that it is impossible for a creature to cease being a creature so as to become equal to the Creator in all respects. Satan, therefore, wanted to be like God, not by nature as an equal, but by resemblance. He wanted to be similar to God, inasmuch as God is by nature an end unto himself. Therefore, in the words of John of St. Thomas, Lucifer used his free will, choosing to remain the first in an inferior order rather than to become one among others in a superior order. In other words, we could say that he chose to reign in hell as opposed to serve in heaven.